Welcome to the Code for Couples podcast, focusing on topics for law enforcement officers and couples to keep you and your relationship connected, resilient, and code for. Now, your host, law enforcement expert Cyndi Doyle, author of Hold the Line and My Wife.
The most popular idea that couples have in regard to having a relationship seems to be the 5 love languages. I've heard so many couples talk about knowing their own love languages. Some even know their partner's love language. So what the heck could be the problem? It's true that if we pay attention to each other's love language, it positively impacts our relationship. It becomes a problem when they become transactional. Let's talk about how this happens and what to do about it this week on Code for Couples. Can you hear me okay if I'm doing this?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to say it that. You could just talk normal.
Okay.
Welcome back to Code for Couples. I am Cyndi Doyle. And today, my husband has offered me to join me on this conversation about love languages and how they can be transactional. So thank you so much for coming on, hon. I appreciate that.
Thank you for bribing me with more coffee.
Yeah, I think we
Love
said
language.
coffee talk or podcasting and coffee or something.
I think that's what you said. Yeah, let's have coffee while podcasting.
Yeah, there you go. It was a bribe, though. Yeah, I think
guess
so.
It was transactional.
I got something for something. I got multiple somethings for something.
Way to start off not having a transactional with something transactional.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Well, or we could say, actually, no, it was totally, hey, I want to spend time with you and maybe we could do something that I need to get done. I think that's what it was.
So it's transactional.
Probably.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, let's start off first talking about the 5 love languages. And I want to review them for everybody because most people know what they are, but I don't know. Do you know the 5 besides cheating and reading my little outline that I have going on up there? Are you familiar with the 5?
I don't have them all committed to memory all the time.
Yeah.
I need refreshers along the way.
Okay. The first one is acts of service. Acts of service is when you do things out of kindness or love for somebody else.
Scrubbing toilets.
And it has to be something that the other person would appreciate. I think we've told the scrubbing toilets story, but do you want to tell it really quickly? Or do you want me to tell it? Do you know what I'm talking about? That I thought the toilets were magic.
And never got dirty or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, lived in the house 10 years or something.
Maybe. I don't know if it was that long, but yeah. One day I was, honey, have you ever noticed that the toilets never get dirty? And you looked at me, you were like, that's because I'm cleaning them, you dumbass.
Pretty much.
Love languages acts of service has to be something that the other person is going to value and appreciate. For example, if I do not care about you buying, that would probably be a gift. Let me do something else. If you didn't care about me cooking for you every day or something but that's something you did. Did I say that right?
No.
Okay.
How about this? If you didn't really care if I don't know, cut the lawn on a diagonal or something and made a pattern in the lawn.
Well, it doesn't even have to be that specific, but
Right.
yeah. Because actually mowing the lawn is something I really enjoy.
Yeah, but you also enjoy me cutting the lawn.
So I don't have to sweat?
Well, no, because the house looks nice and clean.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah.
But if you really didn't care that I, really cut the lawn and made it, manicured it or whatever, then me cutting the lawn wouldn't mean anything to you.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah. So that's acts of service. The second one is words of affirmation. So words of affirmation can be any comment. Gottman calls them words of affirmation. We look at character is what we look at many times, as opposed to words of affirmation are not necessarily saying thank you for doing the blah, 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 right? It's I appreciate or I value something about you.
Or it's a compliment.
It can be a compliment. Hesitate to do compliments because many times compliments are not necessarily received in the manner that it's intended. So if you are complimenting my physical form, but I think to myself, oh my gosh, all you do is compliment my body, that might be a problem, right? So that words of affirmation still has to be something of value to the other person once again. So what you value or what I value might not be the same thing. I want to talk about that in a second. Number 3 I put was physical touch. So physical touch doesn't mean
Grabbing boobs.
right all the time, right? But if that's something that's appreciated, but physical touch can be just touching somebody's head or giving them a peck on the cheek or
Hands
hugs.
on their waist to move them, say, excuse me, as you go by.
Yes, yeah. So any kind of touch is appreciated. So that's physical touch. Quality time is going to be time that you're spending together. And that looks different for different people, right? So some people might say quality time is sitting on the couch watching a show together. Other people might think that doesn't count.
Or having a discussion about a book.
Yeah. Or going
Not
and
sleeping.
doing. No, sleeping doesn't count as quality time. I know a couple that every Sunday morning what they do is they make sure to spend the first hour just kind of in bed snuggled up together, which is physical touch, but also quality time.
But they're awake.
Yeah, they're awake. Right. I think quality time obviously looks different to different people because I have a friend that she's go, 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 go. And while that's fun to have unique experiences, because I do to have unique experiences, but I also to chill out on the back porch, which is something that you and I both have in common, I think, right?
Absolutely.
When it comes to quality time. There's also, I just want to make a caveat here that there can be quality time that's considered parallel time. So parallel is when you're doing an activity together in the same space. We commonly do this. So parallel activity might be you're on the computer checking something out and I'm watching a show. Or I'm on the computer doing my clinical notes and you're watching a show, or
But we're
you're
still
checking
hanging
out
out
Instagram.
and interacting
Every now and then, but it's
Right.
really a parallel play.
Right.
I have a client that her and her husband do a lot of parallel play in the sense that they both play video games, but one of them plays on a console and one of them plays on PC. So they play different games, but they're in the same room, and they consider that some quality time because they're talking every now and then.
Right. Or they're just in the physical proximity of the other and not in distress either way.
So it really depends upon what's important. The last one is gifts. And gifts can be anything, small little gifts. When you go to Kroger, this is why I didn't use this one, but when you go to the grocery store and you're, oh, look what I got you. And it might be something like olive loaf.
or the little chocolate covered pretzels from the pharmacy.
Yeah, yes, those are my favorite. There's these dark chocolate pretzels that I absolutely love. I don't remember where they're from. New York?
No,
Pennsylvania?
Somewhere. We have to check out the
Yeah.
points on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the 5. Out of those, I think I know what yours is, but we've never really had a discussion about what love languages are appropriate or important to you. I don't think. I think you know mine. I think I'm pretty verbal about what mine are.
Yeah, yours are affirmation and touch and quality time.
Yeah, I would say.
And I don't know, they're all probably about equal. The gifts are not real important to you.
No.
The acts of service, they're more important than the gifts to you, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not critical.
No, you're
the
right.
other ones you want the touch and the affirmation.
Yeah,
and the time.
I'm definitely, and it's ironic a little bit because I was talking to you yesterday about as a kid, I always wanted to be held. Physical touch is a big thing for me. And because it also is really self-soothing. Thank you, baby. He touched my head.
Can't they watch the screen?
Well, I don't always produce the video, but yeah. What do you have an idea of what yours are? Because I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess acts of service is probably your number 1. I would say probably your second might be quality time, and maybe third is gifts. No?
No, the gifts really aren't that important to me.
The only reason why I picked gifts is because you gift other people a lot. You're very generous.
Oh, well.
And so I thought because you liked giving gifts in a way, that you don't buy gifts, but if you go to dinner, you're like, let me buy dinner. And that's a gift.
Right, but I don't need
You don't need that in return. Okay.
No.
So what do you think yours are?
Service and quality time are probably my top.
Okay. Yeah.
My top two.
And I know that because you also do lots of acts of service.
Well, sure. When you used to make my lunch or make dinner and leave it for me, that was much appreciated.
Okay. You have to speak up because...
I can hear me just fine.
No, I know, but I'm looking at how it's recording on here.
Okay. I'll be louder.
That's much better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that'll all get cut out.
Okay.
Okay. I'm saying I recognize when I'm speaking, I'm pretty loud. And when you're speaking, it goes really soft.
Gotcha. I will enunciate and be louder and project.
You don't have to enunciate. Okay. I'm going to back up. Okay. So you get the love languages. They make sense. Yeah.
I think I know them.
Yeah.
I don't remember them all verbatim all the time.
Right. And I'm not asking you. Yeah. That's not a big deal. When you think about how they work, what normally, I was going to back up and say one more thing. Keep in mind that those love languages are things you have to talk about and find out what your partner likes. I was going to say words of affirmation. You said words of affirmation are mine, and that's true. But along the way, I told you, hey, it's less important for you to come to give me a compliment about how pretty I am, and more important for you to tell me that you're proud of me. Right? Or you're proud to be my husband or something of that nature. That was something that was important to me.
You wanted more feeling versus observation, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of, pretty, somebody can be pretty.
Right.
And you can talk about that and say, oh, hey, you're very beautiful. But the person can be a total, and they may know that, but they also want to know that, hey, they're smart or they're, right. I value your friendship or whatever.
That's totally right. Yeah.
Because would you still be my friend if I were ugly? Is maybe what the person thinks.
Would you still be married to me? Okay.
I wasn't talking about you.
I know. So, yes. And that's why I wanted to point out that it's important for you as a couple to kind of understand what's important to that other person if you're going to use those love languages. So the way love languages are supposed to work is they're supposed to be, hey, I want to love on this person. And sorry, my husband so we're in my office and our dog is in here and my husband is just like, your dog made a stinky.
Yes.
So the way love languages are supposed to work is they are supposed to be that if I'm going to demonstrate love towards you, then this is a way that you can acknowledge and understand that I'm loving on you, right?
Yes, it can be wordless without saying I love you or I'm in love with you. It's just a way of that person knowing that person cares and loves for you.
Yeah, because they're ready to be received, right? So we're looking at that. The problem that I have been seeing is, and I hear it through email. I get emails about it, and I hear it from other couples when I'm speaking and things like that, is that love languages kind of get screwed up and they become transactional. So it becomes more like coins in a vending machine is the best analogy I can get. Like, I've put money in, why aren't I getting something out that I want? And that becomes a bad shift in a relationship.
Right. Or it could be, hey, I did the dishes, you take the trash out. It shouldn't be that way.
Right.
It should be, oh, hey, I did the dishes, and you say, oh, well, since he did the dishes, I'll take the trash out tonight, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be an expectation on my part that since I did the dishes, that I expect you to take the trash out.
Yeah, or
Are we allowed to say that on the...
Yes, we're allowed to say things like that.
Well, I'm going to go do the dishes. I'll take the trash out.
But that's kind of how things get screwed up, right? Okay, well, I want a transaction, so let me start doing things to make sure that the proper coins are in the vending machine, so I get the proper candy bar.
Well, that's bullshit.
That's part of what I want to talk about, though. A big part of what I want to talk about is how they get screwed up. Specifically, I think there are some components that they get screwed up in our relationships because in law enforcement, because of some of the some of the uniqueness of it is what I was thinking. So I made a brief list.
Okay.
And so the first thing that I thought about was actually having time together, right? So you don't physically see each other as much. I've talked about the time, there was a 5-year period of time where you and I just didn't see each other that much.
Right. We had a couple hours during the middle of the week where we had dinner or sex or something.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we don't see each other. So it's hard to spend, if your love language is quality time, it's really hard to get quality time. Or if my love language is acts of service, then maybe those acts of service don't get translated in the same way.
So the
right?
quality of your chosen love language suffers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And that makes it difficult at times it can cause a decline, right? It makes it difficult to connect in those love languages. I also said the downside of hypervigilance.
Oh, too tired and just flat.
Yeah.
To maybe recognize or even express the love language acts or words or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
It affects all of them, sure.
Yeah, that downside, what I was thinking of is how many times did I try to engage you and try to have some quality, squeeze in some quality time and get frustrated. He's shaking his head and closed his eyes and get frustrated because you're not paying attention to me, right? Because I didn't understand that your body was just tired. I just thought,
and my brain too.
Right. Well, yes, that's exactly what I mean. It's in your body. Yeah. That your body and brain's tired because I just had the expectation you're here. Let's squeeze in a nice conversation and you're right. And your brain's just offline. And I got, and I remember getting frustrated because I was like, I just want you to acknowledge. Can't you just, and that didn't go so well.
I can't count how many times that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even I joke about this when I do my presentations about that hand gesture that you gave. Get on with it because what is it? What the hell am I supposed to be getting? So that was really difficult. I think we leaned a lot on acts of service because we did some words of affirmation, sticky notes to each other, text messages,
right.
Or back in the day.
Sometimes whether it was a little bag of Cheetos or a candy bar or something, I don't know. I mean, or a soda.
Yeah.
But it really, those were never really real important to us.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. The downside of hypervigilance, I think, takes an impact, and I think it can cause a lot of resentment.
And miscommunication.
Good point, babe. High five on that one.
Yeah. Go me.
Which goes into kind of the emotional disconnection. Go you. Yes, babe. Which goes into that emotional disconnection of not understanding each other's world. I think a lot of officers don't share what truly happens on the job because you're trying to protect your family from what you see.
True.
And so you might give tidbits. You might say a brief summary, or I think early on you told me more stories than you did later on. Later on it was, I would ask about your day. It'd be the same shit, different day. And I was okay, but that could be a variety of things. There was that emotional disconnection. I really didn't get what was going on with you. And I don't think that you really got how lonely. I don't think either one of us got how lonely it was on the other side.
Agreed.
We were too busy feeling our own loneliness, I think.
Yeah, and I'll know true, and I'll speak from my side in the sense that I don't think I had the capability to really care.
Oh, fair.
Or recognize.
Yeah.
The your world or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's actually part of what I meant when I wrote emotional disconnection as well, because you have to have that emotional disconnection, and plus your brain's offline.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect
Compartmentalization.
storm.
Yeah. And if I think the podcast for about compartmentalization has dropped already, but if not, stay tuned, and I will also link it in the show notes as well. Oh, independence. That was something that I put in there because as a spouse, I know for me, I became more and more independent because I had to figure out what to do with my time, right? I couldn't just sit around and wait all the time. I would make plans, or I would learn how to fix the dryer on my own by pulling up YouTube.
Right.
Which I did a couple times, right? Things that independence where I don't lean on you for maybe an act of service, or where I don't lean on you for that physical touch, because maybe I go get hugs for my friends. I don't mean that in a negative way.
I was going to say people don't go out and have affairs, just because you need some physical touch.
No.
That's not what we're saying.
But I also wonder if that independence, I mean, we're very independent already. I think when you met me, I was pretty independent.
Oh, yeah. I think the independence, that gets in the way, because then you say, no, I can do it on my own. And then the other person doesn't feel valued.
Right.
At times, or their skills or knowledge or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they just kind of shut down.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Or maybe you do something and that act of service isn't received because it's, well, I do all that all the time. Why are you coming in and trying to do that?
Right. Minimize the actions or whatever.
Totally. Oh, this is one that I put in there, which is I put resentment and contempt initially. And then I said, doing things to get out of trouble.
Oh, so if one partner is angry or mad at the other partner, then you do the act of love language act, or kindness or affirmation or whatever, to make the other person forget their feelings of anger or whatever.
Yeah, like get out of the doghouse.
Yeah, that's really transactional.
One of the things I thought of is many times I hear there'll be a disagreement, right? Okay. And I think sometimes you and I do this even. There'll be a disagreement, and the way you and I can kind of diffuse the situation at times, and I'm not going to say we're going to change this, but the way we diffuse the situation is maybe I'll just ask a benign question or be, hey, do you want something to eat, before we go talk about it, or before we talk about it,
approach
just because it's too fragile. But I think many times people don't come back around and talk about what happened. I think we did that for a long time as a couple.
We avoided or whatever.
Yeah,
and just kinda
we avoided conflict.
Put a patch on it and move forward, like a little Band-Aid, and then later on, I think I need stitches now.
Yes. But, many times what I hear is, especially from females, is they'll say, oh, yeah, all of a sudden he was emptying the dishwasher and cleaning and doing the house chores, right? Because he's trying to get back in good graces.
Well, that'll get you out of having an affair, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Note to self.
It's that kind of a thing. Or all of a sudden this was the next one I had, is you're only doing things when you want something. So now that I want something to buy a new gun, or I'm picking on men, you could pick on women in a second, but buy a new gun, or if I want sex, now I'm going to do those nice things that I know are meaningful.
Right. Like
and
the dishes.
Take care. Like the dishes. Right.
And the laundry. I'll even fold it.
What do I do? What do I do to get back into good graces, or when I want something? I think women sometimes will be like, oh, I'll go have sex, because that will be...
with the husband, not with somebody else.
Not with somebody else.
Oh,
Stop
okay.
it. Okay. But with the husband, because that way, or with their spouse, right? It could be male or female. Yeah. But many times people will go have sex because it's like, oh, well, now I've put some change in the vending machine, so now I can get what I want. Sometimes sex is used as a love language weapon too.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes people don't mind that.
For bartering. Yeah.
I think basically what starts to happen is that sometimes that resentment and contempt of, hey, I'm not getting what I want, starts to be like, well, I'm doing all the things, right? So I think those are some of the ways that our relationships particularly can become more transactional, just because we don't recognize what's going on and how to move through those
but even withholding that
situations.
Stuff, acts of kindness. I'm not going to empty the dishwasher until she does the laundry.
Yeah.
They can go that way too. It's like that person, for whatever reason, didn't do what I was expecting them to do or wanting them to do. Mm-hmm. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And then I'm going to withhold until it's
Like it becomes a stalemate.
yeah, and it's like, well, that's just stupid and immature.
Yes, and that's where the contempt instead of having conversation.
Right.
Because those difficult conversations are hard. We just said you and I have struggles sometimes having those difficult conversations.
Sure.
You could have a therapist as a wife and still suck at conversation, right?
That's for sure.
As a therapist can suck at conversation because I want to avoid the conflict too. All right. So basically, I kind of summarized it down to the mindset changes,
Okay.
right? The way you're looking at things start to change, and it becomes kind of that coins out vending machine situation. And we start to filter behavior into what we want, or we're not getting what we want. And we start to filter in how we're not getting what we want. Do you know what I mean?
Right. It starts to,
go ahead.
I didn't get this, so it just starts to wear on you or affect I didn't get what I want, so now I'm going to have a little meltdown or a little hissy fit or something.
Yeah, temper tantrum.
Yeah, temper tantrum. And
I think also I was kind of thinking that, all right, I'm going to pick on a situation in the sense of negative mindset, right?
Okay.
So in policing, everybody's a shitbag, pretty much, right? You're dealing with criminals a lot of the time.
I was like, that's your family.
Well,
There's some.
You're dealing with criminals all the time.
Right.
So your mindset, if you get on the road, and I'm picking on our situation in particular, you get on the road and everybody's an asshole, everybody's out to get me. You kind of probably fail to see kindness happening on the road because you're in the mindset. I think it was a month or so ago, and I said, did you drive in the car this all the time at work? Oh yeah. Totally. I would be calling people names when I was driving. And no wonder this is a part of the way you see the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely had to make sure my mics were off.
Yeah, but so that filter changes, right? So if you think that you're not getting what you want, you may fail to see those love languages that are being given, right?
Oh, it becomes a shield that goes up and you can't,
right.
A barrier that you can't see through because you're living in the moment, but you can't, what was it? I lost my sense of appreciation and value or whatever for those things or for you because because my mind was so messed up from seeing crap all the time.
Right.
That everything was crap.
Right.
The entire world was crap. Even though you did something really nice for me, the world was still crappy.
Yes. And as a spouse, and this can be officer or spouse, however you're going to do this, if I'm going to take physical touch. So physical touch is something that's really important to me.
Right.
Right. And so many times I over 23 years, 25 years, 23 years of being married, 25 years of knowing you, that I just go and get a hug. Right? And,
yeah.
And you know that I do have longer hugs. And when you try to side hug me, I get a little annoyed and I'm like, no, I want a real hug, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just go for what I want, knowing that that's not what your love language is a go-to. Even in your family, your family is not huggers, whereas the Brinkman family is huggers.
Right.
My dad's whole family.
Tree huggers.
No, not tree huggers.
I know.
But, okay, so although I am a part hippie, so I could see that. I could take that as a filter and say, well, he doesn't give me what I want.
You could. I don't get what I want, and so now I'm going to go get it somewhere else. But
Or not even get it somewhere else.
Or just hold resentment.
Or just be resentful and contemptuous, right? But then I would miss those acts of service that are so important to you many times. I would miss those acts of service that you give to me, right? The fact that now that he's retired, one of the things that he loves to do is put my lunch together. And I even noticed in the fridge already, I like milk in my coffee. And so what I noticed...
your milk blend.
My milk blend with some milk and some, Italian cream. And I already noticed in the fridge, you've already put that together for me.
Oh, yeah.
For the morning.
For tomorrow.
Yeah. And I could say, well, acts of service aren't important to me, so never mind. And my mindset could be where I don't filter that in, right? I don't see that as you giving me a love or caring for me, right? If I'm like, screw him, he doesn't give me hugs.
Then it blocks all the
right.
whatever love languages that you are your chosen ones.
Right. And I think it's difficult too. Here's one that between us was really difficult. I think I've shared this before. He's like, I don't know what you're going to say. Remember,
I'm scared.
Okay. You used to call me or text me and say, are you home yet?
Oh, right.
And so initially, or when are you going to be home? You would say those kinds of things, right? And initially oh my God, you're so controlling, is kind of what I would think. Why do you have to know where I am? And what I realized was that was you caring for me and saying, hey, I worry about you and I want to make sure you're safe. It also takes that away from you thinking about it on the job.
Right. If I knew you were safe or you were at home, and
Right.
a lot of times it was whether it was later at night.
Yeah.
Not that you ever went home late at night, but later at night, or if the weather was bad,
Yeah.
something of that nature.
Yeah.
Knowing that you were home safe or whatever, or almost home or whatever. Yeah, it allowed me to free up my mind to pay attention to what I was supposed to be doing at the time.
I think it's also, but I also think it's love language wise. I think it is you caring for me almost like an act of service, I think.
It is, but it gets misdirected and misinterpreted.
Right.
As, like you said, controlling, or is he not faith, but
Doesn't trust me?
trust,
Yeah.
broken trust. It's not that, but, and if that's something that bothers people, then you really need to sit down and have a conversation, and you're saying, well, why do you do that?
Right.
And hopefully, I mean, they're honest and say, well, okay, I don't trust you because you cheated on me in the past or something.
Right.
But if it's just
or maybe I don't trust you because of all the shit I see on the street, right? Or maybe for you it was, well, I trust you, I just don't trust everybody else.
Well, exactly.
Right? Yeah. But I think that's the filter is
Yeah.
kind of what I was going for, is how does the filter change? I said the mindset of it becoming more me focused. I think I've kind of covered that, right? Kind of like the vending machine of how
Yes.
do I get my needs met? I need this, so what do I need to do to get what I need? And then it becomes almost something you can hold over somebody's head. What's that called?
Quid pro quo.
Yeah,
Is this for that? No,
yeah, this for that.
It's more not black. Well, kind of like blackmail, but what do you call it?
Punishment.
Yeah.
In a way. But doing these things and you're not doing anything. And so that doesn't work so well when you're trying to be loving. So it's almost like an entitlement, right? So maybe that's the word I was looking for, that, well, I've done these things, so I'm entitled to you giving me this. And that the mindset really screws it up.
Yeah, the mindset, it's a shitty mindset.
It is. But you get how it happens, right?
Oh, sure.
And I get how it happens too. Sometimes people think, oh, well, we have these love languages, and so I'm doing this thing for you. What's getting in the way? Why aren't you doing it? But you've got to think about what's going on in your relationship. And is there hurt feelings? Are you having communications? Are you talking about it? Are you not just love languages? Love languages are a part of having a relationship. They're not all of having a relationship.
Oh, no way, no way. And languages, you need to give them, do them, whatever, say them because you want to, not because you need to. There's a difference. I need to do this so that I get this. No. I just want to do this for you to be nice.
Yeah.
Or say this to you, or whatever the language is.
Yeah, totally. You get it. High five.
Go me.
Then I was thinking about, okay, well, what do you do? What if you find yourself in a situation like this? You get out of it. I didn't expect you to have all the answers. I think you're, oh shit, am I supposed to have those answers? Some answers down, and I want your feedback on what you think. The first thing I said was talk about it. Got to clear the air, but I also said you have to do it in a way that you're owning your own shit. Right? You can't be, well, don't blame is hard, because I think as a defense mechanism, many times in law enforcement, blame the other person, right?
Well, accusatory is what
Yes.
it's more.
Well, accusatory. Yeah. There you go.
Because, well, they do stuff wrong.
Yeah. Everybody does something wrong, right? Blame. You have to be careful of not doing it as blame, but owning your own shit, right? Does that make sense? I see you pausing.
You got to have, right. No. And it makes sense to me in the sense, meaning that you talk on an even playing field and you just talk. You don't say, well, you did this, so that's why I did this.
Oh, yeah.
Just have a conversation. You could say, now, when you did this, it made me feel this way.
Yes. And you have to use a feeling word.
I know.
You can't say it made me feel that. You have to say it made me feel hurt.
Or angry.
Scared. Oh, I thought maybe you'd use another feeling word.
I don't know all my feeling words yet. I'm still learning. Hungry.
Hungry.
Isn't that a feeling?
It is a feeling.
All right then. Hey.
But
when
yeah,
you made that sandwich, it made me feel hungry.
But that's kind of, yeah, okay.
I know it's basic.
Yeah, clear the air. Talk about if there's a problem. So let me give an example. If you're thinking that, I'll use something that I might say. I might say, hey, when I have to, this may sound familiar, when I have to pursue you for hugs, when I have to come in and get a hug from you, it makes me feel hurt and disconnected and
or that you don't
sad. No, I can't say
me.
that. Or unvalued. I can say unvalued.
Yeah.
And what I would like is for you just to remember that I like to have physical touch, and that can mean that you can slap me in the ass or whatever, right? So I'm having that conversation. I feel disconnected from you. It's okay to say that. And what I need to feel more connected is this way. Yeah.
Oh, agreed. I mean, it's good if you tell them how you feel. Tell them what's kind of wrong, or maybe wrong is so bad.
No, you can say wrong. What's not working?
But also give them give them hints, or even just tell them, this is what I need you to do to help me. Because a lot of times, the downside of hypervigilance, I couldn't recognize that stuff.
Right.
So I had to have you actually tell me what you wanted.
Yeah.
Then, because just was too tired to figure it out on my own.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But there's nothing wrong with that. And it actually makes things a little bit easier, because then I don't have to guess.
Oh, yes, I totally agree with you on that, in the sense that guessing, having your partner guess at what you need is a pain in the ass. And especially when you're trying to solve a problem together, because you've said even yesterday, you were like, okay, well, how do we correct that? How do we fix this? And that we means we're in it together, which is nice. But if you can be, the more direct you can be, the more successful you're going to make your partner, right?
And they'll remember that in the future. They'll say, oh, wait a minute, hugs, right.
Hugs. Oh, she's giving me a hug. Let me linger here for a minute.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think I even said, Gottman says we should hug for 10 seconds. You were like, all right.
Yeah, that's probably not all I said, but sure.
Also, when you talk, you have to make sure to clear the air, because it can't just be, sometimes it can be we've played on each other and there's different layers. Make sure that if there's some hurt or some contempt that's getting in the way of those love languages, that gets cleared up too.
You got to tell the truth and be honest with the other person.
Yeah.
But you don't do it in a way that you hurt them.
Yeah.
You know, well, it's going to hurt them. I mean, there's no way. I mean,
right.
It's really hard to avoid the hurt, but you don't have to be cruel about it.
It's how you do it.
Right.
And that can be difficult too, coming at it from an authoritarian stance.
Sure. Because cops are always right.
And as you said on a previous podcast, you want to win.
In it to win it, baby.
That makes it difficult. And the win is the relationship, though, not the individual. And that's something to keep in mind as you're listening to this, that yes,
it's together.
The win is
not
together, not separate.
You don't win by yourself most of the time.
Most of the time. So the second thing that I said was, go back to a time when you thought, I hate this word, fondly, thought, I know it's a Gottman word.
I feel like a lame ass word.
Well, you had a sense of appreciation for that person. Right. Is that better? That you thought longingly of that person?
Like, this person's the shit.
Yeah. Right?
Not the shit.
So thinking about a time when you wanted to love on them regardless.
Right.
Going back to having that mindset of, I want to show this person love, and not so much, why aren't I getting what I want?
Right.
And that can start to change it. Because I'm pretty sure that we all pick up on that idea of, oh, they're just doing this because they want XYZ. Many times what happens is couples start physically touching because they want sex. And that then triggers your brain to then go, oh, you know what this is about. So then you start resisting those things.
Right.
And so you have to get through that and make it a daily part
Ritual
of which is one of my other ones, which is set habits, make them habits. Even if you have to set up reminders in your phone to do certain things, there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. So put sticky notes in your car.
Make that list.
Make that list. Check it off the list. But make it about the list.
Hug wife for 12 seconds.
Yeah. But even if you have to put it on the list, it's not a bad thing. It's, hey, I'm making it a priority. I think that's the difference.
And I think the partner, if you put it on the list, you're kind of telling them, yeah, you're making them a priority, but, hey, there's going to be other things that are going to be popping in my brain. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to forget about you. Mm-hmm. So if you do it that way, if you think of it that way, then nobody gets hurt and nobody feels that the other one is just, it's a chore for them to do it for you.
Yeah.
It's more like the priority. I like that.
The other thought I had 2 other thoughts. The first one is keep your side of the street clean. Do your part and stop thinking about what the other person's not doing. Does that make sense?
Do the acts or the love languages because you want to do them.
Right.
Period.
Mm-hmm. End of sentence. Period. And the other thought I had is sometimes at different points in your relationship, you may need to think of that person as having an injury. So what I mean by that is maybe there's something going on with them that they're not capable of giving in the way that they have given in the past, or giving in this moment in the way that maybe they've given in the past, or meeting the expectation of giving.
Right.
So whether that's something physical, as much as you men sometimes don't understand what cramps feel, it's not comfortable, right?
Yeah, the girl doesn't want to be touched when she's having cramps or something.
Right. So that's the thing. But
or they don't want sexy time or whatever.
Right. But maybe I'm overwhelmed with the kids. Maybe I'm overwhelmed at work.
Right.
Maybe there's something going on where I feel a pressure. Maybe my family is getting to me.
Right, or a friend or a family member is really sick, but I don't know about it because I've been at work for a couple days.
Right.
And you haven't told me about it because you're wanting me to stay safe at work and not worry about that. And then I get home and wanting whatever, and I'm like, what the hell's your problem?
Yeah.
And then you tell me, and it's like, yeah.
And that goes down to keeping your side of the street clean, but also the communication.
Right.
But I'm also thinking, sometimes we just get emotionally down or anxious or depressed, or maybe you've been on a call that's a hangover, right? Or maybe something's going on at work. I can think, I've told the story a couple times.
Oh, the dinner date time?
Yeah, for a month and a half, right? It was, what is happening? I'll tell you when I'm ready. And I'm, oh, good gosh. But it's kind of thinking of it as an emotional injury. Right? That you can't do that all the time. And I think it is helpful for your mindset to be able to do that sometimes, right? Because we can't always be 100%. We're here to support each other. And that means sometimes I'm lifting the heavy and sometimes you're lifting the heavy and sometimes we're carrying the load equally.
Yeah, some days you're not capable or whatever of giving 100%.
Right.
Some days, okay.
Or for a time period.
Or for a time period. Maybe, 80% is all that can be gotten out of it.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about grief. I think many times people don't understand that grief can take a while, right? So, well, I'm still grieving my mom that died, right? But the partner says, well, but that happened 4 months ago. Well, that doesn't mean it's done.
Right.
Right?
And put a time limit on things.
No. And sometimes that's where you have those difficult conversations, but that may help to think about of having an emotional injury, right? Because if you saw them throwing up and having the flu, you wouldn't have the expectation of having sex.
Well, most normal people wouldn't. There's some weirdos out there.
Very true, very true. Okay, so we're at the point where I'm wrapping up.
Awesome.
Was there anything that you thought of as far as changing, or do you think I hit it?
No, I think you pretty much nailed them all on the head.
Thanks, babe. High five.
Go you.
Okay, go me. So I hope this was helpful to look at your relationship and to say, hey, am I doing this in a transactional way? Am I putting coins in the vending machine and
Is
expecting...
it tit for tat?
Right. Quid pro quo, as you said. That is a very legal way of looking at it.
I was trying to be mature.
As opposed to my vending machine in a candy bar? Yeah. First of all, I would say if you don't know your partner's love language...
Say, don't turn your partner into a prostitute.
Oh, yes. This is actually... Yeah, you're blunt, but you say accurate stuff. So, yes. First of all, recapping. So if you don't know your partner's love language or you don't know your love language, there's a free assessment online. I think it's 5lovelanguages.com. You can go on there and look, or you could listen to this and decide, maybe have a conversation. What does that look like? So you know what the love languages are. I will say that they're all important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be, and gifts. It can be everything from like Cheetos to big things, right?
It could bring a singles Hershey kiss if that's what you're...
Yes.
If your person likes chocolate and not allergic to it or something.
Right.
But,
yes, totally. But keep in mind that you have a discussion about that and they're all important. So giving them all is going to be something that you're going to want to do. Assess your mindset. Look at your mindset. Are you doing a quid pro quo? Are you thinking coins in as a vending machine? Or are you doing this because you want to show how you're loving and caring about your partner? If there is some hurt there, make sure you open up a conversation and have a difficult conversation. Think about how you want to say it. You said you don't want to blame or
attack
your partner when you're doing that. And the last one is if it becomes difficult, that downside of hypervigilance, or if it's hard to do just because you don't see each other, totally understand that. Set up habits, make it a habit somehow. Set up a time where when you are together, you can do some of these love languages, or set up reminders on your phone, sticky notes in your car.
Write it on the palm of your hand.
Write it on the palm of your hand. My husband always makes a list. Put it on the list if you need to. But you can move love languages from being transactional to being more collaborative and reciprocal. Is that a good word? Yeah.
Yeah, reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Fancy words.
I know.
It's that education.
More like.
Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this and I hope y'all got something out of it. And let me know what you thought about this. Send me an email. I would love to hear from you. Also, make sure to check out my book, Hold the Line. Would love for y'all to pick that up if you haven't got it. It's available on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com and most online retailers. And check out the website, code4couples.com. There is always information on there. There's some freebies that if you haven't downloaded, you should. And so until next time, y'all stay safe. And keep it Code 4.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining us. For more information about the podcast or Cyndi, check out code4couples.com. All intellectual property rights owned by CRLD2 Ventures, LLC, are protected by the firm of 9mm, 45 ACP, 5.56mm, and 12 gauge.